Hi everyone. This is a quick preview video of the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade science long-term plans at KIPP, New Jersey. We put together this video to make it a little easier to navigate this really big document. A quick tip before we get started, you're definitely going to want to use this outline tool on the left-hand side to navigate the document. If for some reason this goes away or doesn't show up on your computer, you can find it by clicking the Tools box and clicking Document Outline. So let's dive in. On this first page, you'll see a quick welcome message. You'll also see some previews of what the curriculum is going to look like this year. We're really excited to be using a new curriculum called MOSA Mac Science, which we'll get into momentarily. So let's go down to the unit breakdown. For each of the 3 grades, 4th, 5th, and 6th, we've divided the year up into about 5 to 8 units depending on the grade. You'll see the names of those units here on the first column. You'll see the Next Generation Science Standards performance expectations here. There'll be links to those later in the document. And then you'll see the specific units that come from the MOSA Mac curriculum here. Now, a quick side note, you'll see that some of these are highlighted in yellow. That's because MOSA Mac is a brand new curriculum, and there's a few units that weren't quite ready to be published at the time that we made this document. We've been assured by the developers that they will be ready for you on time. If you have any questions regarding that, contact this email address down here, info@mosamac.com. They're really good about getting back to you quickly. You'll also see, for 4th and 5th grade anyway, you'll see a quick storyline which is published by the Next Generation Science Standards and basically previews all the big topics that students are going to need to go over and understand by the end of the year. Going down to the next page, you'll see the long-term calendar. Here we've just simply mapped out approximately how long each unit's going to take, though this can be slightly flexible. You'll also see in green here the 4 module assessment windows when you'll actually give the module assessment. So let's now look at a specific unit and see how it would work. So if I go down to Unit 1 here, each unit starts with a background page. The first thing is the Next Generation Science Standards performance expectation, basically the standards you want to hit. If you click here, you can open up a link that'll give you a whole lot of detail about what's actually expected of students for that standard. You'll see the practices, basically the skills, the basic core ideas, and cross-cutting concepts. Another helpful tool in red here are clarification statements and boundaries, saying what specific content might be expected or not expected to be included. This may not always be necessary to go through since MOSA Mac has done a good job basing their units on these standards, but it's still a helpful document to take a look at. Below the performance expectation, you'll see the actual MOSA Mac units that will be used. In this case, there's just one, gravity, the approximate time required, and a collection of all the materials that will be needed for that unit. Just to note, you'll see that most of the materials required are household items. MOSA Mac's really good about not really requiring quote-unquote science materials. They may occasionally come up, but it's pretty rare. You'll also see, we'll get to this STEM scopes thing in a minute, but you also see occasionally red notes here, planner notes, just little extra hints or things I've noticed as planning that should help you as you go along. So let's actually go down to the pacing guide, which gets into each specific lesson. So as you'll see as we go through it, each MOSA Mac unit is divided into 3 parts. Lesson 1, the solve, Lesson 2, the make, and Lesson 3, the engineer, all based on one video mystery. You'll see I have approximate lengths here that these could certainly change. The objectives that'll be covered in these lessons, list of materials, and again, any extra notes. So let's actually go to MOSA Mac and see what this would look like. When you get to MOSA Mac and you go to library, you'll see the list of all the available units that they've created. You'll also see scope and sequence documents up here, which are pretty nice. Since we're talking about the gravity unit, let's take a look at that. And please forgive my slow computer. So, like I said, each unit is divided into 3 main quote-unquote lessons. So let's go to the unit. My computer will let me. Ignore when they have the standards down here. Apparently these are being updated. They're not necessarily correct. But if I go to Lesson 1, the solve, this is where students are introduced to the video mystery. So the video will pop up here that you can use to show to students. You also have the student-facing materials here and the lesson plans here. So the lesson plans are really, really helpful documents. They've really gone through and planned out all the strategies and agendas that you might need. You'll just be in charge of splitting it up over days and adding and adjusting things for your kids. But again, they have the materials, recommendations for different age groups, answer keys, etc. I just wanted to point out one more thing. So that covers MOSA Mac, which is our primary curriculum. But I wanted to cover one other resource that might be useful. We know that not every curriculum is perfect, and we also know that despite our best intentions, students might still have misunderstandings or comprehension gaps that we want to address. So we actually have another tool that you can use to supplement the MOSA Mac curriculum, and that's called STEMscopes NGSS. This is actually the same curriculum tool we're using for kindergarten through 3rd grade and 7th and 8th grade. So what I've done for each unit is I found the corresponding STEMscopes units that go along with the performance expectation. In this case, it's also called gravity, so I just wanted to give you a quick preview of what that would look like. This is STEMscopes NGSS. Here's their gravity unit. And as you can see, usually using the 5E model, they have menus of many activities you can use, from hooks and activities and projects, readings. The readings are even leveled by Lexile level. They have extra videos and even some extra quiz questions and other evaluations. This is a great additional resource that you can use if you feel you need to supplement the MOSA Mac curriculum in any way.